This is Valley News Live at 10.
We begin tonight with breaking news. The FBI executed a search warrant at Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort in Palm Beach, Florida.
The former president was not there at the time, but he did put out a statement on social media saying the resort was, quote, under siege, raided and occupied by a large group of FBI agents. Reports say this search is part of an investigation into the handling of presidential documents, including classified documents, but the FBI has not provided any other details. By the way, current FBI Director Chris Wray was appointed by then President Trump in 2017.
New for you tonight at 10, police and community members in Fargo are expressing concern after 3 different shootings over the weekend.
Valley News Team's Nishay Taylor tells us what police know so far.
The city has now reached a total of 5 shootings so far this year, according to the Fargo Police Department.
Whenever there's a shooting incident, it's something that's very concerning for the Fargo Police Department and our community as a whole.
Fargo police say the investigations into the 3 latest shootings from this past weekend are a priority for the department.
18 different detectives and investigators that responded to these shootings over the weekend, spending upwards of 100 hours working on these cases, and that's how important this is to us.
The first incident, police were called early Saturday morning to the 3300 block of 35th Avenue South. A dispute led to a 39-year-old man getting shot in the arm, but the reason for that dispute is still unknown.
Yes, our buzzer was ringing at like after midnight.
Apparently the person
the
who
dogs were freaking out.
who was assaulted rang everybody's buzzer.
I think they were trying to get away.
Residents that lived in the building believed to be where the shooting took place say now they have worries.
It's a little scary.
I guess it's a little scary. You know, the town's just getting bigger.
Nearly 2 hours after that incident, Fargo police responded to the second shooting on Broadway North. Authorities say several people were involved in a fight before someone pulled out a gun and shot another individual in the buttocks. But the next morning, another altercation occurred near University Drive and First Avenue North, resulting in a third person getting shot over the weekend.
It does appear to be, based on the information that we have at this point, linked to the shooting that occurred on Broadway the night before.
But following the 3 shootings, Fargo police say they remain dedicated to addressing the gun violence in the city.
And as such, we throw a lot of resources to ensure that these incidents are investigated in a timely manner and that we're getting down to justice for our victims and for our community.
In Fargo, Nishay Taylor, Valley News Live.
The other 2 shootings from this year were reported in May. Police say they have solved both of those, but authorities are still trying to find out who's responsible for this weekend's shootings.
New information now on a pickup truck fire that backed up traffic on I-94 this afternoon. Take a look at this. It happened near the Moorhead Way station around 5:30 this evening. Our crew on the scene reported people running to that pickup while it was up in flames, trying to help. No one was hurt. The lanes were eventually cleared and the vehicle was towed away.
All right, time to switch gears now. Take a look outside. And for your first look at the forecast, here is First Alert Storm Team meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Hutch.
Justin, thanks so much. As you're shifting gears, don't forget to step on the clutch. Here's a look at what's going on outdoors. Quiet conditions tonight. Last night we really got a little bit of a treat with the clear skies out there. Some sightings of this, the Aurora Borealis. A news captured this, and it's actually a time-lapse video. You can see the emerald green shimmering in the distance out there, and there's a chance of it again tonight. Here's a couple of tips just in case you get a chance to get away. Get out of the city lights, usually north of town, just a little ways, will help darken those skies and get rid of light pollution. Also, you want to make sure you check the satellite for clouds, but as a hint, it looks very, very clear through the evening hours and overnight. Hey, look low on the northern horizon. There'll be a chance at seeing the northern lights. It's not a guarantee, but there is a chance again tonight. Temperatures are in the 70s and even 80s in the far west, 60s here in the valley and points east. Very comfortable out there. As we take a look at cloud cover, as I hinted to, there's nothing within hundreds of miles of us. So your planner for the early overnight hours shows temperatures sneaking down into those low 60s overnight. Clear skies throughout. Now I'll have details on a few clouds and some heat in the forecast for your day tomorrow. And we'll look ahead at our next chance of rain in the forecast here in a couple of moments.
All right. Thanks, Hutch.
Minnesota voters will be heading to the polls tomorrow to decide who moves forward to the November general election.
Among the races in tomorrow's primary are governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, and secretary of state. School referendums in Ulen, Hitterdal, and Crookston are also on the ballot. You can follow the results all evening long right here on Valley News Live and through your VNL News app.
3 people have been charged with helping the person who fired shots last week at the Mall of America. All 3 have been charged with aiding an offender. 2 people remain at large, according to Bloomington's police chief. This gunfire, of course, took place last Thursday afternoon when cartridge casings were found located outside the entrance to the Nike store at the mall.
The foster mom accused of killing her 5-year-old on the Spirit Lake Reservation in 2020 was sentenced to life in prison today in federal court. Tammy Longi pleaded guilty to murder, child abuse, and neglect. Her husband, Eric Jr., pleaded guilty to the same charges back in June and also received life in prison. The GoFundMe for the Red River Women's Clinic has now surpassed its goal of raising $1 million. You're looking live at the GoFundMe now. It was started with a goal of just $20,000 to pay for the cost of moving across the Red River into Moorhead. But after reaching that goal, they set their sights on $1 million. Abortion is set to become illegal in North Dakota later this month.
It's almost time for back to school, and this year middle and high school students in West Fargo will be seeing some changes in the classroom. Teachers and staff have overwhelmingly agreed to a consistent school-wide policy to ban cell phone use during class. School leaders believe this will help remove distractions, keep students more present and engaged in learning. Phones will still be allowed during non-class times, but those who break the new rule could have their phone confiscated for the day. High school students in Moorhead are gearing up for their last time going back to school at their current high school. The academic portion of the new school is scheduled to open for the 2023-2024 school year, then the whole building the following school year. Moorhead Area Public Schools broke ground on this new $110 million project in June of 2021. They say the new design focuses on collaborative spaces and technology with a 3,000-seat gym, 1,000-seat theater, and a new pool. New tonight, some good news following WeFest, at least as far as crime goes. Law enforcement is seeing trends, they say, moving in the right direction.
Valley News Team's Cooper Shaganaw takes us to Detroit Lakes with more.
Sioux Pass Ranch is quiet once again. All the noise and lights tucked away for another year. And Detroit Lakes law enforcement says WeFest 2022 was a success.
I'd say this was one of the calmer WeFest from the sheriff's office standpoint.
Police stay on standby at the festival just in case the crowd gets too rowdy. But Becker County Sheriff Todd Glander says fans were tame. And Matt Brink, the mayor of Detroit Lakes, says that's nothing new.
You know, for a big event like that, everybody's pretty well behaved.
There were no serious incidents, and the numbers seem to reflect a downward trend from before the pandemic. Minnesota State Patrol is reporting 8 arrests for drunk driving. The event saw 3 times that in 2019. There were also 6 arrests for outstanding warrants and 5 drug arrests. In 2019, that number was more than double. This year, Becker County Police made around 1,300 traffic stops, keeping drunk driving to a minimum. They say they've gotten a huge event down to a science. The city, the police, and WeFest officials all work together each year to put on the show.
The security in the campgrounds and in the concert bowl, we work directly with them. We work well with WeFest management. And again, we're all out for the same goal.
That goal is a fun but safe WeFest, a 30-year strong tradition that continues to grow.
I'm told it's the largest country music festival in the United States, so it's great to have it here in DL.
As campers pull away from Sioux Pass Ranch and WeFest 2022, preparations for 2023 have already begun. In Detroit Lakes, Cooper Shaganaw, Valley News Live.
Speeding, though, still an issue in the area. Minnesota State Patrol says 4 different drivers were clocked going more than 100 miles per hour.
New tonight, FM Pride is celebrating Pride Week with multiple events over 4 days at various locations around the Fargo-Moorhead area. The biggest events are this coming weekend: Pride in the Park and the Pride Parade. You can find the full list and schedule of events on our website, valleynewslive.com. Just click on this story.
Meanwhile, Fargo pools are announcing their closing dates for the year. The Madison, Roger G. Gress, Northside, and Southwest recreation pools will all close for the season this weekend on August 14th. Davies and Island Park pools will remain open through August 21st.
A once postponed race finally got underway tonight. Kayakers and canoers hit the water for the 30th annual Race the Red. They were able to row either a 1.5, 3.5, or 6-mile kind of loop in either a canoe, solo kayak, tandem kayak, or non-traditional craft, thing like a rowboat or a hydro bike, and that started tonight.